Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing today? My name is Lawrence Laddie, also known as Mr. International. I'd like to welcome you to Financial Independence Through Small Multifamily Investing. I am a proud member of the Jerome Myers Methods class, and I'm also a member of the GOB Network, and I'm also a member of Strategic Partners, right? And I'm also a member of the Tuesday morning meetup that's held by Darryl Murphy, right? I remember Darryl when he first started, and Darryl has a wealth of information, especially he is passionate with a capital P about real estate, about multifamily. And tonight, he's going to talk about don't make the mistakes that Darryl made, right? Follow the process. So, thumbs up, Darryl. I want to say thank you again. Thank you for being a guest on the show here, man, and taking time for you and your family. And take it away, Darryl.
Oh man, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the mistakes. Don't do the mistakes that Darryl made. Just to give you a little bit of history, a little bit of background about me. I started investing a long time ago, in the early '90s. I think it was in single family. I didn't really like it, so I created my own type of program, helping people and stuff like that. It wasn't until 6 years ago that I decided to come back into real estate. Got my license with the state of New Jersey to sell real estate. And I did that for 2 years as a KW residential agent. During the second year, I educated myself and through reading, calling authors of written books and stuff like that, asking them to be my mentor. And they said, yeah. And then I took, I went to boot camp and stuff. And it was after that that I jumped into doing that second year of me being a residential agent. I said, okay, I'm leaving resident side. I'm jumping on over to commercial. And I've been in commercial ever since then. I've been teaching since then how to invest in commercial multifamily. And when COVID hit, it just pushed me out of the classroom and into Zoom. So now I run the commercial multifamily mastermind meetings that's held every Tuesday at 11. I'm also an affiliate of the GOB Network of Apartment Investors. I have my own team, Infinite Legacy, and I also mentor those who wants to get into underwriting and getting their deals across the finish line. During my journey, I think we all make mistakes, but in this process, in this industry, there's a process, and that process needs to be followed. So when Lawrence asked me to talk about the mistakes, and he said of the due diligence, I was like, okay, Lawrence, I was going back, well, what part of the due diligence you want me to talk about? I said, because I made some mistakes. I think they'll all be good, right? Some really good ones. So he said, no, just pick it up from, I think Lawrence said, pick it up from the LOI.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, well, I'll just pick it up from the LOI. So in the LOI, there are certain things that's stated. And, I don't know how everyone's LOI is, but the one thing that's in my LOI is my due diligence will not start until I receive all of the financials from the seller. Okay, that's when I'm supposed to start my due diligence process. Well, here I go, right? This was my first deal, everyone, because there's certain things that I'm going to talk to you about, and I think I'm jumping the gun a little bit, Lawrence, but I'm gonna have to back up just a tad, man. I got to back up. I have to back up because, see, mistakes were made even before the LOI. You hear what I'm saying? So what were those mistakes that were made before the LOI? There was a group of investors. They wanted to partner with me. What happened? Did I disappear?
No.
Okay, great. So there was a group of investors that wanted to partner with me. And with me just getting into this, I was like, holy smoke. They want to, put up the money. They were like, yo, we're going to be family and all of this. And I was excited, right? But what was the mistake that I made? The mistake was I didn't vet these people. That was number one. I didn't vet them. I'm telling you all, yeah, you could deal with these investors. You get to know them. You're talking with them. But I'm gonna tell you something. Vet them out. Vet them out. Do some research on it. Check the background. And now with technology, the way that it is, you're friends with me, right, on LinkedIn. You can see who I'm connected with. So now, Lawrence asking you to do something, you can say, well, let me see who Lawrence is connected with, and reach out to, oh, well, Darryl's connected to Lawrence, and shoot Darryl a message. Hey, Darryl, how well do you know Lawrence? I see y'all connected. Now I'm going to say one or two things. Yo, we're just connected here on LinkedIn. Or I'm going to say, yeah, Lawrence is cool. I go to his meetups. He's trustworthy, blah, 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 blah. Right? I didn't do that. I just, only thing I heard was they wanted to partner with me. They liked the way I do things and so forth. So I took that at face value. I really did. So time goes by. I'm working on deals, getting some underwriting done, right? And I got my first property. Holy smoke. Now, when you get your first property, I'm gonna tell you something. That feeling of joy is gonna come over you. You done typed up the LOI, you submitted it, and the seller signed it. You're gonna be like, holy smoke. You're gonna be like, oh man, right? You're gonna send the LOI to the attorney, and you're gonna talk to the attorney. He's gonna do this, he's gonna do that, right? But this is what you got to remember. You still got these investors over here that tell me they want to be a friend and they want to be a family and all of that. So when I got the property, I underwrote the property. The numbers were fantastic. They wanted to, okay, Darryl, come to the office, bring the deal. I did, because I was excited, went to the office. Man, you should have seen me. I was all cool, decked out, had my laptop, had my HDMI cord. I was ready, plugging it in, went through the whole thing. Down, we like this. So the way that the way I've always underwritten my deals is straight split, 70-30, 25-75, right? However, since they bring in all the money, I gave them more of the pie because they bring in all the capital. So I think I had I gave them like 80 and I may have took 20. I gave them 90. I gave them majority of the pie. So now they said this right here. Darryl, now remember now, this is just supposed to have been me and them. Not me, them, and him, but me and them. Here we go. Darryl, we got some other money, some other people that want to get in. I said, wait a minute. I thought it was just going to be us. Now, why was I concerned now? Somebody in here, I'm going to press the pause button. Somebody here tell me, why did I suddenly become concerned when they were talking about bringing in other people money? How come? Come off mute, tell me.
Somebody had their hand in your pocket.
Can't hear you, Mr. Ray.
Because somebody else had their hand in your pocket.
Am I the
Bringing
only one
someone
that
else-
can't hear?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
yeah, I can hear you, Ray.
I
Daryl,
hear
can
you,
you hear
yes.
him?
Can
You hear
anyone
me?
hear?
Daryl
Hear
can
me?
hear me.
Daryl, can you hear
Can y'all
anyone?
hear me?
Yeah, hear you. You hear you.
can hear
You hear
you.
you.
We can
Well,
hear
I
you,
can't hear
Daryl.
you.
You don't hear me? You don't hear us, Darryl?
I know my
Holy
mic was
smoke, don't
messed
tell
up.
me y'all I can't hear y'all. How I'm gonna answer questions if y'all can't, if I can't hear you?
Check
I'll
your
just
Zoom
type it in
settings
the
on the
chat.
bottom
Hold on a
left.
minute. Let me see if let me go out and come back in.
Check.
Laddie, can you hear me
There we
now?
go. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, I just heard somebody.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me,
Daryl?
Daryl?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay,
Good,
good.
good,
Okay.
you're good.
Okay.
No, that's because I'm gonna say, because if they're bringing someone else in, that means they're gonna change the percentages, essentially putting their hand in your pocket.
Yeah. Now here we go. They starting to change things. Not only that, what else was I concerned with, Mr. Ray?
Are they accredited or non-accredited?
Nope, I wasn't concerned about that.
Okay.
Because remember now what I just said, it was just gonna be me
Partnership.
and them. We were
Right.
being together as JV.
JV.
now
More
they're
people to
bringing in-
talk to when you make a decision.
Say that again?
More people to talk to when you make a decision.
Nope, I wasn't concerned about that. Come on, everybody.
You don't know who they are. You don't
Nope.
know who they are.
I don't care who they
Well,
are.
your equity's gonna shrink.
You
I don't
need
care about, I wasn't concerned about that.
you need another LLC maybe to partner correctly.
Nah,
maybe.
wasn't concerned
No.
about that either.
You don't
More
wanna
chefs
change
in the
the split.
kitchen.
Nah, wasn't concerned about that either. This is what I was concerned about. When you start bringing in other people and they put in money and now you got to do a syndication. I didn't have to do a syndication before.
Oh, JV.
We were just going to do a JV. It was just
JV.
family, they said, just me
Mhm.
and them. So now they wanted to bring in other people. I said, wait a minute. You said we were going to just do just you and me, just us family. Now you're bringing in other people. Now we got to do a syndication. No, Darryl, don't worry about the syndication. It'll just fall up under me. I said, oh no. First thing I saw was straight orange in the state of New Jersey. Okay, that was the first thing flashed right before my eyes. I said, that's orange. Whoa. So I said, no. If you're bringing in, if you're raising money from other people
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting an equitable stake, that is a syndication. No, don't worry. We're gonna just put it under us. I said, let me do this right quick. I said, let me contact my syndication attorney. Sure enough, contact the syndication attorney, and the syndicate. What do y'all think the syndication attorney said? Darryl, you are
Creating a security.
He said, you are, she said, you are correct. You got to do a syndication. So now I said to myself, I said, oh, here we go. That's what I said. So here we go. So my gut and my wife's gut started turning together. And I said, all right. So we went back down. We want to meet with you. We want to meet with you again. I said, here we go. I said, okay. So now we meet again. Here we go, everyone. Yeah, we want to implement this waterfall, and we want to do. I'm like, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. We were just doing a 70-30 straight split between us. Now you want to do a waterfall and a hurdle. I said, well, that's not going to work for me, because this is what, we already made our agreements. So now they're changing the process. And my wife, she started saying, they're going to back out of this. They're finding a way to do it. And I said to my wife, if they back out, when we get past the threshold of that door, start calling every investor that we know. So sure enough, they wanted to meet me one more time. And my wife said, this is the time. Sure enough, Darryl, we think this isn't going to work. Now, I submitted the LOI. The LOI was accepted. Me being Mr. Fast Man, sent the LOI to the attorney. Contracts done. I'm scheduled. Bought my plane ticket, my wife's plane ticket, booked my reservation. Boom, I'm ready, man. I was flying out the morning, the next day. Sorry, Dad, we're not gonna do this. We're gonna back out of this one. My wife looked at me, I looked at my wife. I said, okay. No problem. And I was cool as a jelly bean. When I walked out the door, I didn't let them see that I was pissed as hell. I was cool, calm, and collected. Walked out that door, jumped on the phone. My wife jumped on the phone, started calling all the investors. One investor came through and said, Darryl, don't worry, I got your back. I'll wire the money. I said, thank you. So, mistake. What mistakes did I make? I didn't vet them. I took them at their word. I should have asked other people about these guys, right? And I didn't do that. So that's on me. And I had to deal with that. But I got the EMD, I got everything. So now, next mistake, here we go. So the next mistake, I already told you, I typed up the LOI. I should have, once the LOI was typed and it was sent, I was supposed to wait until all financials were sent to me so that my team and I can go through the numbers. Then you go out, right, to do your due diligence on the product. Man, I was so excited because this was my first deal. I had gotten 208 units under contract in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Man, I thought I had the greatest. I was like, wow, you right? I'm just like excited. And I did not follow the process. This is where I come in and I tell you that there's a process, everyone, and you need to follow the process. Whatever that process is, don't jump the gun. If you underwrite a deal, and I know Larry, Lawrence, you said, you don't want me to go too far back. I'm not gonna go too far back, but when you underwrite a deal, you underwrite the deal. Just because someone may be, whether it's a broker or the owner pushing you to get that underwrite in and you're not finished with your underwrite, and so you start rushing and skipping the process, don't you ever do that. If you miss out on that deal, then you just miss out on it. But don't skip the process. You complete the process. So how did I skip the process? I didn't wait for the financials. I jumped on the plane and I fly out there to Tulsa, Oklahoma. If I would have waited, the money that I put out to the attorney for the flight, for the hotel, for the due diligence, I would not have had to do. Because when I got there, we started due diligence the following day. Without any financials, without any records, we started due diligence. First day was pretty okay. All we did was walk the units because the rest of the team wasn't there. The next day, that's when the rest of the team came in. And I still had more people that was gonna come in. So we can, because it was 208 units, we were gonna walk all of them. We were gonna walk all the units, right? So, Lawrence, can I share my screen?
Hold on, sure you can.
So, oh, hold on, man, I can't share yet.
Go, share now.
Okay. Hold on 1 second, everyone. I want.
Hey, Darryl, while you're doing that, any nice restaurants in Tulsa, Oklahoma, since you had to salvage the trip?
Yeah, man, they got a good steakhouse there. So on day one, We walk in the units. It was 208 units, 50% occupied. And we was walking into stuff like this, right? Now, I'm gonna tell you the truth. This didn't scare me. This did not scare me at all, right? On day 2, because we had knocked out a pretty, just one person and myself and my wife, we had knocked out a good number, but it wasn't, we put a little dent in, but it wasn't really a lot. But we was like, holy smoke. You know, we was like, wow. See that? So, so day 2 comes. I get a phone call. My wife and I, we're starting. The rest of the team is coming in. Others, some more of my team members were on their way. They didn't leave yet. They're on their way. I get a phone call. My wife says, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin it. Now, she didn't say that. She said, but it was similar to that. Stop what you're doing, she said, and come back to the office. So I told my other team member, I said, wow, my wife just said, stop. Close everything, let's head back to the office. So we head back to the office, and the rest of the team comes out of the management office. And they said to me, they said, Darryl, we recommend that we not move forward with this project. I was like, yo, what's going on? Now, if I would have waited before I got on the plane to go to Tulsa, which was a beautiful trip. Tulsa is beautiful. You know, I saw the Black Wall Street and all of that, right? But I would have saved myself well over $10,000, because she said, the team said they don't have no financials here. I said, what? They pulled out manila envelopes. They didn't have nothing on the computer. Pulled out manila envelopes. There was nothing in them, no applications, no nothing. One manila envelope had the stub of a money order. That was it. They said, Darryl, we know that you want this, but we highly recommend backing out of this one. It says your choice, but we recommend, let's just leave this one. And so my wife and I, we talked about it, but I'm going to say this. The night before, and I got to add this in, the night before, my wife wasn't comfortable. And I said, and that night I prayed. And I said to the Creator, I said, Lord, you gotta tell me, you got to give me a yes or a no. I said, parables don't work with me. I said, so tell me yes or no with this particular deal. And that next day, I got a no. I said, Lord, thank you very much. Yeah. So what happened? There was no system, none whatsoever. And we had a hint of that the day before when we was walking the units. So what kind of hints were we receiving? Knocking on the doors, right? People didn't even know we were coming. Didn't even know. Because they're supposed to know. Those tenants are supposed to know that you're coming before you get there. None of them knew. And I'm gonna tell you another way I knew that they didn't know. Now of course, management said, yeah, we told everybody. Man, they got to talking in Spanish between them and themselves, and I may look a little stupid, but I know when I hear my name, right? I knew they were talking about me, and then the girl started pointing to this and started pointing to that. No one was supposed to know that I was the prospective buyer. They thought that I was an insurance company, man. But they started pointing here, telling me this. I'm like, yo, you're not supposed to tell them, right? Now, but this was the kicker on one of, I got two stories. Lawrence, I got to talk about these two stories. Walked into one unit, went into the bedroom, and there was a Glock sitting right there on the nightstand. I told everybody, stop what you're doing, back up out of there. I said, don't turn, just back up in the same steps that you came in. They said, yo, what's up? I said, there's a Glock sitting right there. I don't want no one talking about nothing being missing. Don't turn around, just back up out of that apartment. We backed out. Now, next apartment. Now, the guy didn't have to move his weed, right? Because in Oklahoma, it's okay. But man, we walked into this apartment, and I said, and to show you that he wasn't prepared for us, I said, I need to go into this room right here, sir. He said, you got to go in there? I said, yeah. I said, don't worry. I'm just going in, take pictures, because we just want to make sure if there's any damage. He said, man, you got, then he did like this. He said, you got to go in there like right now? I said, yeah, like what? I just going to take pictures. And then he got the fidgeting like that, you know, like, oh man. I said, is there a problem? He said, well. I said, oh, I want to tell you too. I'm from New York, but I didn't know that this could be done. So eventually he lets me in, and I saw this purple light underneath the closet door. And I'm like, I said, can you please open that door? And his eyes got big, like, holy smoke. Man, he opened that closet door. There was a tree in that sucker. It was a weed tree that sucker with the big lights right on that thing glowing, man. And I'm like, thank you. You know, I just need to make sure no damages. I didn't care with the weed, but now if I took over, he was gonna get rid of that weed. You know what I mean? But that was that. So when I look back at a lot of things, I really jumped the gun on a lot of things, but you know, and it was because it was my first deal. And your first deal, I'm telling you, if you don't get excited when you get that first deal, something wrong. You're gonna be so excited, you're gonna be hyped up, you're gonna wanna, okay, we gotta start doing this. Listen, slow down, take a deep breath, and follow the process. Don't do what Darryl did. That's why I told Lawrence, to name this program, don't do what Darryl did. Because you're gonna wind up losing money if you jump the gun. Start not following the process, making sure things are in order, and you start jumping the gun. You're gonna have problems. So I do have some pictures that I want to show. I'm not going to take up much time because I want to take some questions. But I just wanted to show you a few pictures of the apartment. This was somewhat renovated. The renovation was the blue and the red. That's what that is, hot and cold water. That was that's the renovations. Okay. Let me see if I can show you something that's pretty good. Oh, that's a different complex. So I can't. But that was it pretty much. I'm gonna tell you the truth, everyone. I really did want this building. It was called Colonial Park. these were the mailboxes right here. This was the office where that's my wife right there. And these are two members of the team. The rest of the team was en route. This was the management office. So we knew we were gonna have to totally gut the management office. This building also had the boiler chiller system. So the boiler chiller, it was still sitting inside. Part of it was sitting inside because the owner was scrapping it, like cutting it and taking it to the scrap yard. That's how he was doing it. The place was totally, it was infested with roaches. So, you know, I was going to, I had already underwritten it for a complete vacancy because I was going to go in and just fumigate the place, rehab the place, and all of that. But the main thing I would like to tell anyone throughout that story, if you could take anything away from that story, is vet your people, vet your investors. When you know, if you don't know them, vet them. Make sure that they could really, make sure they're trustworthy. Okay, let me just make that short and sweet. Make sure they're trustworthy. Also, if you didn't get anything else beside that, don't jump ahead of the gun. Make sure that you have, if that LOI says you're not supposed to do something until a certain date, then you don't do it till then. Don't start buying plane tickets and all of that, trying to get out there to where the property is or wherever it may be. Go by the process in this industry. We have it. There is a process. If you don't know that, there is. Follow the process. All right? Follow the process. Don't let no one push you into things, especially if you think it's illegal. Syndication, if you are raising money, that's a syndication. Don't let no one try to tell you not to worry about it. They'll just come up under me. All right? So I just want to say that. Are there any questions that that you may want to ask? I'm open.
Yeah, Darryl, man, thank you for sharing this, because everybody wants to share the stories where they look heroic. And so thank you for sharing this, which is just a real experience. You know what, Ken, I just saw your hand. I jumped up and started talking and I wasn't even looking at hands.
No, you go right,
Cool. All right. I'm sorry about that. I'm not as rude as I act sometimes. My parents really did raise me right. I just didn't listen. I just didn't listen. Anyway, what I wanted to ask, number one is thank you, because everybody wants to look good and nobody wants to talk about the real stuff, which is why so many of us don't learn. Like you're further along this path than I am, and I am grateful to you for sharing that experience, because I learned just listening to you. So that's number one. Number two, my question is this. You said that you would have vetted these potential partners better, you know, knowing what you know now. Can you share with us, I don't know how long it's going to take, but can you share with us exactly what steps would you take to vet them? What websites would you go to? Would you run a background check through LexisNexis? What are some of the exact steps you would take to vet them, you know, knowing what you now know?
Well, Ray, I'm glad you asked that question. I'm gonna tell you why. I met another investor, matter of fact, not that long ago, international. And I'm gonna tell you, first thing went up, man, with them caution signs. Boom, they went up. And I said to him, is there gonna be a problem with me running a background check on you? I need to know before we get started. And he said, no, I have nothing hidden in my cupboards, because he was from England, right? I want to say this, ask around. This industry, although it may look real big, it's not, it's small. Ask other investors. Yo, have you heard of these guys? Do you know anything about these guys? Right now, LinkedIn was back then. Well, this was only what 2019? Yeah, but LinkedIn was back then. I didn't invent it. Yeah, I invented it, LinkedIn. I'm only joking with you, but you know, 2019, you could check LinkedIn, Facebook. You could ask other investors. Ask them. Don't hesitate to ask them and let them know you want to do a background check on them. Don't be afraid. Because if they hesitate or pull back, that should be a red flag to you. Yo, they don't cast alone.
Yeah.
Right?
So where would you go for that back? I've heard different people say different things. What do you recommend? What is your favorite place for background checks? Because I
know that I can't recommend a specific company, but I know that there's plenty out there.
Okay.
Especially, and you can use them same ones that for those who have small units, because I had a small unit, we did background checks.
Yeah.
You could use them same companies to do background checks on investors and everyone else. Now, you're going to need some personal information, whether it's their driver license or their social security number or whatever. You're going to, listen, if y'all going to deal with $1 million, they shouldn't worry about social security number. I'm just being straight. If I'm giving you $10-20 million, you gonna worry about social security number? So ask them for it. You know, if you trust them, you trust them. But I would definitely start out with the cheapest way first, which is free. LinkedIn, conversation, talk, ask. If you want to go to the next step, then hit those sites. I forgot some of the name of the sites. I forgot the one that we use, but there's sites that you can definitely use. I just don't remember the name right now. I'm running my mouth too much.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right, no problem.
Good, Kenneth.
Thanks again, Darryl. I'm not going to call you whatever, Cinto, Max Smurf or Papa Smurf or whatever. I'll let the nickname go. But you mentioned something about like the financials and like, and I see it in a lot of the smaller multifamilies that aren't professionally managed, especially the mom and pops. They'll have incomplete like financials, or they do a lot of it themselves. Like they know the tenants, they collect them. What do you see as like red flags as far as financials, and maybe vice versa, opportunities where it might be hard for other investors to underwrite it because it's incomplete, but you know the market stuff. So how do you tell the difference between like a red flag and an opportunity when there's incomplete financials?
Something that's an excellent question, because I was asked that question, Darryl, how did you underwrite your deal? If you, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. I underwrote my deal with the financials that they gave me at that time. But then when I got there, it was like, where's the rent roll? Where's the T12? Where's the list of people? There was none. So even property management had to say, well, where did you get that? So was that forged? Was this, what was this? Kenneth, I'm gonna be honest with you. Red flags, hesitation, prolonging delivery. Here's one. You ask a simple behind question and they take you around the country to answer it, and you still don't get your answer. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you ever ask a question and it goes all the way around the block, they stop at Chick-fil-A to pick up some chicken and come back, and your question not answered, you ask that same question again. I don't care how you ask it again. I don't care. Because if they can't answer that question, that's a red flag. Okay? All you want to know is, when was the roof done? Here we go. We're going to go around the block, come back. Didn't get no answer. Okay? I'm going to be honest. By me being new, I wouldn't have caught if a red flag would have slapped me in the face, probably. Because I was so excited. I had 208 units. What? From Tulsa, Oklahoma? Man, I was excited. A red flag could have slapped me in the face. I probably wouldn't have known it. And I bet you it did. If I go back and think about the steps that I made, what I failed to do, I think the red flags would have came out if I would have waited. like I was supposed to wait.
Mm.
Because remember, they didn't have anything to send me. So if I would have waited, I would never have received anything. That means I would never have bought the ticket.
Mm.
They didn't have no leases. They didn't have nothing. It was nothing. There was no computer. The girl was acting like she was on a computer. There was nothing there.
But Darryl, what made you say that Tulsa, Oklahoma was a submarket that you wanted to invest in, right? We always start out with the MSA. We narrow that down to the submarket. What was it about Oklahoma City that said that this is a place that I want to put money to work?
You know what I saw? I saw 50% full. That's what I saw. Because the first thing came to my mind was, we could just renovate this, get this together, and they, you know something? Let's go back to the red flags, because now I'm gonna answer Lee Johnson's question. Were there any red flags? Yeah, they were. Since I'm thinking about it, wow, that holy smoke. Yeah, there were red flags. I learned that Tulsa was not the greatest place for me to invest. It wasn't very good. It wasn't. After that, Lee, come to find out that my project, the people, my project, what they do there, and this was back then. I can't speak of what's now, but then they would run from one project building to the next, and then they would run from this project building to the next. So my tenants was coming from this project building over here, because, and listen, I have nothing against people who's in this country, but I guess to evade the law, they would jump from building to building to building. And I learned that while I was there, that they're going to jump from that building to this building, from this building to that building. Because when my team was going through the list, they said, yo, they were trying to find some names, and I showed them what I had. And they were like, yeah, I know. They were like, yeah, I know this person. This person just came from that building over there. Oh yeah, this person here just came from that building over there. Oh, this person here just came from that building over there. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute, what? So they jump around from building to building. Another red flag, and this is going to go back to answering Lee Johnson's question. I didn't pay attention to the income. I did not pay attention to the median household income. It was well below. That was another thing that the team brought to my attention. Darryl, there's no way you're going to be able to hit these numbers here. I'm like, holy smoke, really? He said, no, it's just not going to happen. He said, and that came back to them looking at what I had already had, because they couldn't find nothing there. And they were showing me how these people were jumping from place to place. So that was another red flag. That was another, I'm gonna say that's a red flag. That's, if I would have just waited. What else? To answer the, Lee, did I go around the block and chop a Chick-fil-A and stop at Chick-fil-A to answer your question?
In a way you did, because for me, I always, I start out at the 10,000 foot level, which is the MSA.
Right.
From the MSAs, then I narrow it down to a couple of submarkets within there. And then I try to understand everything about that submarket before I either, find somebody who's on the ground or decide whether or not if I want to underwrite in that particular submarket. But, I see people doing the exact same thing, going into places where they don't really understand the area, because, that property, when I look at it, I've never seen a Class D property, but that was a Class D property. So now, I just figure out how you got down from 10,000 feet to 1,000 feet to say that this is where I want to invest.
Okay, and now Lee, Lee, you hit the nail on the head. I didn't have boots on the ground, everyone.
Boots on the ground.
I sure enough didn't. Lee, I did not have boots on the ground. Lee, you're absolutely correct. I didn't know nothing about Tulsa. Lee is correct. Do your homework. Don't, and it goes back, Lee, this goes back to the process. If you got a process, you got to stick to your process. I didn't have boots on the ground. I went down there blind. I jumped the gun on the LOI. I could probably go on and on.
But before you go on, James, go ahead, James.
Hey, what's up, Darryl?
Hey.
Question, I don't remember if you mentioned it when you got to the property. Were you expecting to see the condition like that? Or did you walk in and like, what the heck's going on here? I don't remember.
No,
if you
I
mentioned
didn't. No, I didn't expect to see the conditions like that. I did know that it was 50% full. I did know that.
it. 50%, 50%, what did you say, full?
Yeah, I did know that.
Oh.
I knew it was 50% full. But I
Okay.
didn't know that it was like that. I know that we did not know. No, I did not know that.
So that kind of threw, if you had a value add plan, that just had to throw that up in the air as well, too, correct?
Yeah. No, well, you know something, you know how I underwrite, James, where a lot of times I over budget.
Right.
The one thing I did do was over budget.
Okay.
And although I didn't know the severity of the property, I did underwrite that property at being 100% vacant. I did do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Lee, did I answer your question that time?
No, you know, just because Jim asked you that one question,
Yeah.
right? Because one of the things that I heard as you were sharing your story was also that you were going to take down the property to 100% vacancy as you were going to start building that up. So that brought an interesting question to my mind as to, I guess you were going to go with some type of bridge financing on this thing that would have allowed you to do that.
Yes, you are correct on that. I would definitely I had to do bridge. I couldn't do
Yeah.
agency that. I had to do bridge. Yeah, you're absolutely correct on that. 100%.
So Darryl,
Story, you learn just as much from, I wouldn't say a failure, but that's the only word that comes to mind right now. And I actually believe that people learn more from their failures than they actually learn from their successes. So I agree with what the other gentleman was saying, is that, you know, it takes courage to actually learn, to tell people where you weren't so successful. So I applaud you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna tell you something. I mentor now, and let me see. Hold on a minute. I don't see Alicia. Oh. I mentor now, and the one thing I will tell any of my team members and any of my mentees, I am not going to cut the process. If we lose the deal, we lose the deal. I'm not going to cut the process. That's just the way it is. I said, you may get pissed at me, but oh well, I'm not going to cut the process.
So I got a question for you, Darryl.
Go ahead.
I got a question for you. So are you saying the due diligence process just doesn't start when you get the building on the contract, and you go look at it in the physical? So it's also physical, and it's also partner due diligence, it's economic due diligence. So due diligence is just, because a lot of times people just talk about due diligence, right? So you're saying due diligence is not just physical looking at the building, it's a full circle of all the parts of the process.
Your due diligence starts the day you receive that T12 and rent roll.
Okay.
Your due diligence start. Matter of fact, I take that back. Your due diligence starts the day you pick your market, because you need to know how that market is functioning, where is it going, and is it going to be able to do the returns, hit the returns that you are expecting. So before you even start building relationship with brokers and property managers and lawyers, you should be studying your market,
Okay.
which of course, like Lee said, I failed to do, right? Because if I would have known that, if I would have studied my market, like just like Lee said, I probably wouldn't even pick Tulsa. I probably would have made an error somewhere else, like in Arizona or Texas somewhere. I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So your due diligence starts actually when you decide to pick your market. You need to know your market better than anybody else.
Thank you so much, Darryl. Quick question. How long before you got right back into the next deal? And did those investors ever want to get back with you?
Well, as you know, I run the commercial multifamily mastermind meeting, right? And guess what? They were coming to my mastermind meetings.
Wow.
Yeah. I ignored them and they stopped coming. I ignored them and they stopped coming. How long did it take me?
We always talk about building relationships, and that was like out of the blue. They came with that left hook, left field.
Yeah.
And so I wondered how you felt about, dealing with them again.
Okay. Let me answer that question. I will never deal with them again.
Okay.
Never, ever. That trust is gone. You can never build that back.
Okay.
I won't deal with them again. How long did it take me to? 1 second, Samuel. How long did it take me to come back? Man, hey, I got back up on the horse, man. It was a little setback, right? But I was like, I'm gonna tell you what excited me. The reason why I didn't give me like a 1-2, you know what I'm saying? Like a Mike Tyson knockout where you lose your teeth a little bit and you don't get up for a second. You know why I got back up? Because I was like so excited. I got 208 units. I'm a boy from Brooklyn, New York. I just got 208 units. That guy investor was going to deal with me. I was excited. I knew I could get the next one. I kept right on marching on to victory. Heck yeah, it did not stop me. I think I was more motivated. More motivated. Go ahead, Samuel.
Thank you.
Yeah, so first I wanted to say thank you for how you told your story, because for me, I think that's the way I learn best, is through stories like that. And when people tell their mistakes, like any mentor that I look for, if they can't tell me mistakes they made, then I can't really like relate to them, because I just feel like that's just how I learn. But my question is, so did you have any experience with like smaller units? Like for me, I know I had a 3-unit where I made similar mistakes that you did. So did you have experience with a smaller number of units to where you were able to get that excitement out? Because you talked about how excited you were, and that's why you skipped so many steps. So I was wondering if there was excitement with the smaller deals you did, and then it reset when you got the 2-unit, the 200 something unit. So you repeated the same mistake, or was it just like this 200 unit was the first time you were doing any type of deal, so it was just that first time excitement?
I've never done small units. My criteria has always been 100 to 300 units. So that mistake came on a 208 unit deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why do you think it happened with the 200 versus like 100 unit that you might have did before?
Well, the mistakes that I took can happen with any number. That's why I asked Lawrence to name it. Don't do what Darryl did, because with any number of units, you can still if you jump the gun and skip the process, you're going to make the mistakes. Whether if it's with a 5-unit or a 1,500 unit, you skip the process, you're going to pay the price. So the bottom line, regardless of the number of units, people, don't skip the process. But I've always been, from day one, I've always been 100 to 300 units.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Anybody any questions? Any more questions?
I hope
Go
I
ahead.
didn't bore. Did I bore anybody?
No, you know what, Darryl? It's, you know what? You didn't bore nobody, because, like, you know what, I like everybody said already, that, you know, it's very rare. And I haven't been here like last 10 years, but the time I've been here from like 19 to now, it's very rare that everybody talks about their missteps, right? All you hear, like you said, is everybody has and they go up on stage, they have the rose-colored glasses on, yellow sunny glasses on, and that's it, right? And here you were authentic and transparent, that, you know what, I just did, I got excited, right? I got excited. And I got excited. And I got so excited, I forgot what I was supposed to do and just did everything I was supposed to do. And that's wonderful, because, you know, you fell down, but with bottom line, you got back up. That's what counts. That's what counts, right? Because you can fall down 7 times, get back up the 8th time, right? Don't let nobody steal your dream, right? So
Exactly.
I'm just going to say thank you, Darryl, for being
Hey,
transparent.
no problem. Samuel, just to answer your question, because someone just brought to my attention, I did not stop. I mean, I've always have been between 1 and 300 units. So right now, I currently have under my belt 318 units combined.
Wow. Okay. Congratulations.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
So that means never, ever stop, never, ever give up.
Nope.
Right.
Okay.
Don't stop. You know, listen, you're going to make mistakes. Just, you know, listen, you're going to make mistakes, but that doesn't mean to go in a daggone corner somewhere and start whining and being and moaning. And nah, man. All that means is get your behind back out there and continue doing what you're doing. That's what that means. You ain't got to whine. You ain't got to gripe. And also, don't try to blame it on nobody else. It was on you. You failed to do your process. All right. Suck it up. Eat it, Holmes. Eat it. Get full. Right. And just don't do it again. Now, the first time is a mistake. The second time, yo, you do it again, you need out. Okay. So
yeah,
I like to say,
hold on, Desmond. Hold on, Desmond.
Okay.
Dominique, let me ask. Good, Dominique.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so my question is for like that new investor that's new to the multifamily space, what would you say would be the first steps to, you know, getting their first deal, you know, not really having the capital to buy? I know, you know, through other investors, and then, but what would you do, you know, if you had to start over with no money to invest? What would you do?
wait a minute. I don't remember saying I had money.
You're right.
I never told you I had money. I got 208 units under contract and had money coming in, though, didn't I? What, by me saying that, what do I mean by that, everyone?
Bringing something to the table, being of service. He's bringing something to the table.
You listen, don't let money stop you. Don't let money stop you from getting into this game. This is what you need to do. Dominic.
Yes.
Where did Dominic go? Oh,
I'm here.
Dominic, listen. This is what you do. You pick your 1 or 2 markets, okay, and you study those markets. Make sure that they have growth in population, median household income, medium home condo value, crime rate is low, job growth, right? Make sure it has those things. Pick you no more than 2, because in this business, it's about relationship building. And with 2 markets, you will be able to build that relationship. Now, once you start building the relationship and you know your market, start learning about underwriting. Okay, so now, because you when you reach out to those brokers and you asking them to send you the profit and loss statement, rent roll, OM, then once you get that, you'll be able to underwrite the deal. Now, if you happen to have reached out to a broker before the process of underwriting, that's okay. Don't freak out. Get the information, call someone, call Lawrence, call Darryl Murphy, call somebody, say, hey, I got a T12 rent roll OM, I need help underwriting. Okay, we'll help you underwrite. Now remember what I said. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, Bed-Stuy. I don't have no money. Okay, don't let that stop you. If the numbers work out, Lawrence, Darryl, my numbers work out. Look at this. Whoa, man, this is really good. Let's get this guy some money. Now, Lawrence going to get you some money. I'm going to get you some money. Ray Hightower going to get you some money. Desmond going to get you some money. You see where I'm going with that, Dominique? There you go.
I got Michael Blanc underwriting too. So I've been studying a little bit. I've been knowing that that's really underwriting is a super important thing, because that's my thing. I haven't talked to any brokers, and I wanted to at least understand the numbers. I don't even want to waste their time. I don't want them to be sending me something and I don't know. But now that what you just said, don't let that stop me. But I do feel like, underwriting has definitely been super important to me, just trying to understand the numbers and really get a hold of that.
Yeah, but pick your two markets first and just know your markets, right? And then don't worry for right now. Don't worry about the money. Get the property, let someone help you underwrite it to make sure that the numbers are solid, and then ask for help. In this business, we don't play, well, some may play by themselves in the dirt, but we play together in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? I go get the water, you get the bucket, Lawrence, he go get the sand. And then I'm gonna bring the water, and whoever have the bucket, then we're gonna put the sand in the bucket, I'm gonna pour the water in, and we're gonna make us a sand bucket, whatever that's called. All right, that's how it's done in this industry. Let's play together. We can get more done that way.
Absolutely, appreciate that.
Yeah, Des.
No, Darryl bumped into what I was going to say, and Dominique asked the question, which led into the networking. And because the more you networking and growing, just like this platform, maybe back then Darryl had network, but because this is like this now, so many people probably know something about Tulsa. But now we have so many different networks with people, you can reach certain things easier and better now. So like you said, you can get the help right here and everywhere else now with people you don't even know because of who they know. So just keep networking and learning the language too.
Exactly.
That's what's good about this networking with Darryl and Laddie and Aaron and everybody else. Because I've met so many people. There's only been 1 year since Laddie did this, and I've met tremendous amount of people now. And it just is, it's no, you can't put a price on it. You just can't. It's a value. It's very valuable.
Totally agree with you, Desmond. Totally agree with you. But let me also just interject this right quick. Before you go out there and start dishing out 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000, use what you got for free. Ask around and use the resources, the free resources. Take that 10, 20, 30, or what that go up to 50? Take that money and put it in a deal. You got people out there to help you. And so take advantage of it. All right, take advantage of it.
Appreciate that.
We have another question. Sorry, we got another question. Before we do that, though, right? Before the question, right? I need everybody. I forgot last week, so I need to do this week here. But remember, thank you. Can anybody turn your camera on, please? I'm bad at this sometimes. This is crazy. I remember sometimes I don't. Put your cameras on. I don't know, Lee, see us, put the camera on. Lee comes on. Look at that. Oh, see that? Look at he got a hairdresser. Look at him. Get out of here. Wow, bro. I'm impressed, Lee. I'm truly impressed. I'm impressed. He got somebody doing this. Wow. That is not cheap. All right, everybody smile. Aaron, you ain't there? Sean, Aaron, you there? Okay. I know you're in spirit. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Aaron, we're gonna come back to you. Alicia has a hand up. Go, Alicia.
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quickly, especially for those that sound like they're a little newer in this industry, be careful of going to so many meetups. You know, I've been in the industry for a while and I know many facets of it, but coming to the investment side was a whole different animal for me. And even though I understand the financials, I didn't know how to underwrite them either. And starting this process, there's so many different models, there's so many different meetups. And what I've been able to do is to focus on certain ones. So I come to this one, I come, you know, to Lawrence's, to Darryl's, I do Aaron's, but I don't do too many more out of that, except for Ray's, because gotta root for a hometown. So whenever I'm available, I try to go to those because not only can I give value, they're also giving value. So as you're going through the different meetups, you got to figure out what's the best for you. And don't always go with the intent that you're going to learn all you can and then use the information. Your history, your experience is valuable, and there's somewhere you can give back to. And that's how you create those relationships. And I'm talking from someone who's gone through Darryl's program. As long as you put those principles into place, you'll be successful. You may not go as fast as you want to go because he slows everybody down. It says, follow the process. You won't be sorry that you did do that because it's less expensive for you to do that than for you to go forward. So that's, my input.
Thank you, Alicia. And I'm gonna tell you, this. So if I see that you skipping steps, I'm gonna back you up. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna back you up. You're gonna be like, Darryl, I gotta submit the LOI. I'm saying, I don't care. You skip the process, go back. We don't skip the process. I'm telling you right now, you skip the process, man, it's gonna cost you some dough. So don't skip the process.
Dominique, like Alicia said and Darryl said, there's a process to this, right? Alicia is correct. You can spend a lot of time on meetup, and therefore you're taking time from yourself, right? So you gotta choose very carefully how you spend your time, right? So like Darryl's meetup on Tuesdays mornings, Aaron's meetup is on Thursday nights on 7 o'clock Eastern time, right? This meetup is on 7 o'clock Eastern time on Tuesdays. There's other meetups also, but you also educate yourself with podcasts and most importantly, books. This multifamily game is all about mindset, right? It's like Darryl fell down. He didn't stay down because of his mindset, right? So you got to do books too, right? That's what I feel. That's my opinion. And my opinion is like noses. Everybody got one. So I'm in with that one there. Darryl, once again, we want to thank you for coming tonight.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you for opening your guts up and spilling them on the table, right? And nothing like somebody spilling guts up on the table. It makes them feel to somebody else real.
Yeah.
Right? Not fake. Thank you again, everybody, once again for coming to Financial Independence to small multifamily investing. And thank
Lawrence,
you.
can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
If you ever need help, feel free to reach out to me. I did put my contact information in the chat. Listen, I'll be more than happy to help you, right? Reach out to me if you have a question, you need some answer, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll be more than happy.
So, okay, thank you, Darryl, again.
Yeah.
Right?
But I'm not skipping the process.
As a matter of fact, you know what? You can reach out to everybody here. right? Because we all here to help each other. That's the bottom line,
That's right.
You can't keep it if you don't give it away, right? So if you
Amen.
want to hold the information to yourself, you ain't gonna last too long, right?
Yep.
Once again, I want to say thank you everybody for coming out tonight. Thank you to Dominique for his first time coming out here. Great meeting you. Anyone else? Henry, Nick, you see I'm squinting. Where's Christine at? The Kuma.
You might need glasses like Darryl be when he going to outings.
Okay.
Oh, and be quiet.
I just want to thank everybody for coming tonight to Financial Independence through Small Multifamily Investing, and hope to see you next week, God willing. Next, we're going to have Bo Berry on here, author and broker in Florida. Have a good evening.